Happy Lipstick Friday, everybody. Yeah, that's actually a thing too. I didn't know that when Brett Miller suggested that, but yeah, it turns out that's really a thing. So, good day to drop a lipstick album today. Um, yeah, kind of a fun project that ended up happening. Brett, going back a little bit, I interviewed him for Rusted Metal, and I also interviewed the lipstick singer Paul Passarelli. Um, Brett, I talked to a bit before. He did a lot of stuff on Queensryche, and he posted some different articles and things, and I reached out to him. Paul James Tolan, our good friend that helped a lot with Rusted Metal, working on that book with us. He introduced me to Paul and helped set up the interview, and we did that one together. And so, fast forward a little bit, we did for Northwest Metalworks our second compilation. Volume 2 was the Lake Hills compilation, which I talked about a little bit. We're talking about lipstick. That was this compilation here that featured an unreleased song from Lipstick, Trouble Around the Corner, as well as TKO and Q5 and Rail and Overlord and Sato and many other bands on there. And then, of course, Lipstick went back to having the lead off track Daily Grind on this great compilation Northwest Metal Fest in 1984. And so, yeah, so we did that second compilation. The guys were cool enough to let us use that unreleased track on there. And when Rusted Metal finally came out in November of 2020, we said, of course, COVID kind of shut everything down. So we set up some signings for the following summer. And in August of 2021, Brett actually was fortunately in town in Hillsboro for a conference thing for a week, and so we were able to set up a signing where he could come too, as well as a bunch of other people. And Paul, the lipstick singer Paul Passarelli, came down and joined us from Seattle, which was a nice surprise. During that time, I got to talking with the guys, and I was actually presented with a president of a lipstick t-shirt that Brett had made up with the logo. So I had shirt number 3, which I was very honored, and got to talking to the both of them. And I said, if you guys if we could find some live material, it would be really cool to put out a full album from Lipstick. I think a lot of people would really like that. And at the time we knew of the 4 studio tracks, that existed. There was the Daily Grind song, of course, that was done at Triad, that was a Northwest Metal Fest, and there was 3 out of 4 songs. Unfortunately, the original version of Daily Grind has been lost, but there was 3 other tracks, including Trouble, that were done at Rick Vaughn's Eggplant Studios, where Shadow and Overlord and some other guys recorded out over the years at like a home studio. And we were hoping maybe we could get some quality audio from the Northwest Metal Fest show at the Moore, or maybe some other stuff existed. So that kind of went by the wayside. The Lipstick guys were both definitely interested, if something could be found in the project, and we just kind of figured we'd see what we could come across eventually. And last fall, winter range, holidays at the time, I think James Tolan discovered he had some lipstick audio from some live shows on some cassette tapes, a couple cassette tapes in his storage unit he found, and presented them to the guys. And so Brett approached me about helping him put it out. We were kind of overloaded. We had not only the volume 3 compilation in the works, but a Metal Church book of editing, and started another couple books that we have going, some other record projects. So we're kind of backlogged, and I was like, well, I could probably help you put it out. Maybe we could be like a production and distribution type situation. And so that's what we ended up doing. He was just going to do the CDs. And I said, people are really going to want a record, want some vinyl. Why don't I see if one of the labels we work with overseas a lot with distribution and stuff might be interested in pressing up vinyl and putting up the money to do that, and kind of co-producing the project. And so So that's what I set out to do, was kind of see if anybody else was interested in doing like a license thing. And before I even got as far as that, I had a couple friends in the US who wanted to get involved with this. A friend, Michael Strom, who um, he started a little label. It's called Metal Scorpion Records. He has some different CD projects, a couple different CD projects he has coming out. And he really was interested in the Lipstick project too and wanted to be involved. So he, tossed his hat in the ring. My friend Matt Kessler, who has a label called Too Many Records, as well as just celebrated his 1 year anniversary of his great record store in Portland there. He was pretty interested too. We were actually talking about working on a different project first, and this lipstick project came up, and he wanted to actually get in on it too, and so he proposed the idea of an exclusive color. So um, so we're going to do black and pink vinyl, and Matt is going to do a 100 copy exclusive clear vinyl with pink and white splatters. So that will be something that will just be for his label, basically distribution. But of course, any of our regular collectors and customers who want them, we'll get you guys hooked up, of course, too, and we'll do some different packages probably or whatever. But we're going to do it a little different. Typically, Northwest Metalworks does 500 LPs and 300 CDs. We've done on most of our releases, but a couple that we just did vinyl for. In this one, we're actually going to do 500 CDs and 300 um, vinyl of 3 different colors. So kind of a little bit of a different situation, but that's just how it kind of worked out. Um, so yeah, so that's the genesis of that. Of course, if you tuned in, you could see the cover art at the start of this video. Um, Pre-orders are set to launch on June 30th. We want to make sure things are in production. We're waiting on audio files to be finalized right now. There's a lot of great live material. There's the 4 studio tracks, even some cool covers, a lot of original songs, really a lot of good stuff. And we were really happy that James had these tapes, and that they were really a couple really good soundboard shows. So Tony Reed, our usual master of the dials, worked on the engineering and cleaning this stuff up and getting it sounded really good. And yeah, it's going to be a great release. There's going to be a cool booklet with a bunch of photos and images and liner notes. Really excited about this. So thanks to the Lipstick guys for um, asking me to help out with this one. Unfortunately, on a sad note, Paul um, uh, surprisingly passed away a couple weeks ago, sadly. Had a heart attack. Um, and um, so, yeah, he's not going to be able to see this one, which makes us very sad, but we were even more determined to get it out. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, 3 Lipstick guys are not with us anymore. Mark Von Beck and Brock Grau, who played guitar. Mark live with the guys at the Northwest Metal Fest, and Brock shreds on the Daily Grind song, of course, it was recorded in Triad. And Jeff Cardelli also passed away as well. So the 4 guys. Um, but Dave Van Leeuwen and Jimmy Parsons, we got some liner notes, which was really great, and quotes with them in it, as well as Paul and Brett. So that's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, so that's it. We're pretty excited about it. Like I said, watch for pre-orders at the end of the month, and then all goes well, we should have um, the vinyl out probably in fall. It looks pretty good right now. Turnaround's a lot faster with the plants, fortunately. CDs we'll probably have sooner. Usually it only takes about a month usually to get that turnaround on those typically. Uh, so yeah, so Lipstick, Daily Grind. There you go. And then um, also got something to share that I forgot to last week is we did get test pressings for the volume 3. Um, if I can get this to to show here. Um, so yeah, so we got test pressing from our plant. God dang it. And then, there we go. Something happened there. It sounds really good. And actually, these are supposed to be done a lot quicker than we thought they were. So it's likely end of July we should have the vinyl. We got to get the jackets back and stuff as well. So, and then CDs are actually done and on the way now. We did a different kind of insert actually for these. It's, so I had these printed up separately. So it's one of this style of booklets that folds out into like a poster. And so we have like a collage on one side and all the band bios with little band photos and info on the other side. And so that folds up. If you remember these, they did these a lot in the 90s, and this is a little thinner material than they used to use, so this works a lot better. So yeah, so those will be in the jewel cases, and those should be in stock and shipping this next week. So, all right, so there you go. Lipstick pre-order coming, volume 3 records coming out, and we're going to have more records to come. We got a couple more announcements. Metal Church book is being final edited right now. We're hoping to get that started with design and layout here in July as well, and we're still on target to have that out in the fall as well. So thanks everybody for all your support of Northwest Metalworks music and books. Please support the Lipstick Project and M80 Productions. That is Brett Miller's old production company that he used to put on the Northwest Metal Fest and the Headbangers Balls with back in the day. He's relaunched that company as now a record label to put out Lipstick and possibly a couple other releases down the road, a book with a Northwest guy that's going to be pretty cool, and some shows as well. So there you go. Alrighty, guys, we shall see you next week, and we'll be back with the letter P. I skipped it this week because we had some updates and announcements to do. So we'll catch you next time. Thanks.